Alright, Shonen MC back here for Umineko. Last time things got pretty heated with the adults, so let's see what's going on elsewhere. We crossed the hall again on our way to the entrance. As we did, we once again spotted the witch's portrait. However, spotted is probably not the best word to describe that experience. It's more like our eyes were inexorably drawn to it. That woman's eyes, with their sage-like glamour, definitely had the power to make those who viewed it stand rooted to the spot.
魔女ベアトリーチェか。本当かね?
Has to be.
パトラ信じてない?
Back when he had asked what this picture was, the first person to tell him had been Maria. Therefore, when Battler showed signs of doubt, Maria must have felt that Battler didn't have faith in her. Of course, that wasn't what Battler meant. Maria ran up the portrait and began banging on a plate hanging below it. Maybe the title of the portrait was written there. Is it me, or is there a perspective shift now that it's showing Battler? Maybe I'm just imagining it. Maria, trying to prove that she wasn't lying, obstinately continued to hit the plate.
悪い。別にマリアが言ったのを疑ったわけじゃないぜ。
Yes, you do.
パトラ納得。
When he patted Maria's head and apologized, she seemed to accept it, sticking out her chest and proudly oohing. Oohing. That's a new word in the dictionary now.
何? 我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェ、懐かしき故郷を貫く。って、なんだこの怪しげな長い碑文はよ。
The plate did have the title of the portrait written on it, but it was much too big to contain only that. I feel like this is important. Beneath the title was what appeared to be a long epitaph. If you just skimmed over it, several unnerving words would jump out at you.
すげえだろそれ。じいさまが書かせたものだよ。意味深だろ？マリア知ってる。黄金の隠し場所。
おい。
The gold?
後宮家の隠し
They
場所
have
の
hidden
話か。
gold? I thought this was gonna be a murder mystery. I mean, it's set up like one, right? But there's like occultism and hidden gold. This is getting interesting.
そりゃまた懐かしい話だね。っていうか兄貴、これマジなのか？
これを書かせたおじいさまは、この絵とこの碑文に関しては何も語ってくれないんだ。でも、親類たちの間では、おじいさまの黄金の隠し場所を記したもので、この謎を解いた者に家督と黄金のすべてを譲るという意味ではないかと、もっぱらささやかれてるよ。
Oh, sweet. If I get to explore the island and find the gold, like point and click style, that'd be pretty sweet.
マリア聞いた。黄金いっぱい。さてな。10トンの金塊なんてね。私はちょいと眉唾だけどな。
しかしよ。
No way it's fake.
こんな碑文を読んじまうと、マジかなって気になっちまうな。
I think I already explained grandfather's upbringing. Let me also mention the Ushiromiya family legend of the gold. Grandfather succeeded the Ushiromiya family after it was destroyed in the Great Kanto earthquake. And by successfully riding the stormy seas after the war, he managed to accumulate great wealth. That much of the story everyone knows. However, this is where the strange part begins. Part of it involves grandfather's black magic obsession, so its credibility is extremely low, but... well, wait until the end before you doubt or make fun of it. After the war, grandfather correctly predicted what the future would hold, and won in a huge gamble, accumulating a vast store of wealth. But there's a mysterious legend about how he gained his initial funding. Grandfather came from a branch family and had no connections in the business world or the financial world. Even though he later built connections with the occupying forces, he supposedly started as a nameless person who hadn't yet gained anyone's trust. It takes trust to gather money. There's no way anyone would lend money to somebody they didn't trust. Indeed. How did Grandfather, who had no reputation at all, manage to obtain his first vast chunk of funds? When we asked that question, Grandfather supposedly answered like this. On a certain day, I encountered the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Grandfather then went on about his continuing research into alchemy and techniques for summoning demons in order to become a great magician. And the entity summoned as the result of the demon calling ceremony was the Golden Witch Beatrice, okay? Stacks up so far? He then apparently made a contract by which he would receive fortune and honor in exchange for his own soul. The witch then granted Grandfather 10 tons of gold. Grandfather used this gold as collateral to prepare a vast quantity of funds, which he then used to multiply his wealth many times over and revive the Ushiromiya family. It seems this story is so old that even our parents were told it when they were still children. So, back when our parents were young, they explored this island in all sorts of ways, believing that the gold Grandfather had received from the witch might be hidden somewhere. However, since there was the danger of them getting lost in the abandoned forests, Grandmother began to spread the story that the witch lived in the forest and approaching it was forbidden. Okay, that makes sense.
そんな話があったな。俺たちも小さい頃、親からその話を聞かされて、宝探しと称して島中はあちこちうろうろして。
It makes me wonder if in the generation below me, Gen Z, if they still have that kind of stuff existing in childhood when everything's gone inside these days. But yeah, I love stuff like gotta find the treasure outside.
森で迷ってワンワン泣いて、塩兄さんに見つけてもらって親にめちゃくちゃ怒られたんじゃなかったっけ？懐かしいぜ。
バカだったよな。
Not many things have changed in that.
だってよ、じいさまはその資本金で儲けた挙句でこの島を買うんだぜ。この島に来る前から黄金を持ってたってことになるじゃねえか。この島にあるわけがないぜ。
You know, based on his character, I'm just gonna assume that the gold is on the island.
そうとも限らないよ。その黄金が元からこの島に隠されていて、それを確実に自分のものにするためにこの島を丸々買い取ったとかね。何しろ10トンもあるんだもん。
I mean, consider this is Japan, the place where there's a lot of rare minerals.
安全な場所に移すより隠し場所そのものを確保する方が現実的だよ。
この碑文を書かせたのは2年前。それもじいさま自身ってなると、なるほど。黄金伝説も信憑性が増してくるじゃねえか。じいさまが後ろ宮家復興の資本金にしたという魔女に授けられた黄金が10トン。
10 times.
そいつがどこかに今も眠っていて、じいさまはこの謎を解けたやつに全部を譲ろうって、そういう、じいさまらしいセンスというか、なんというか。
Yeah, it does seem like his style.
マジならなんとも景気のいい話だぜ。
Why are you cheering yourself up, bro? Remember, he laughs and messes around like this when he's kind of coping with other emotions. So, The epitaph carved into the plate was very mysterious, with something like a poem or a song written on it. That text was incredibly disturbing, filled with the signs of Grandfather's black magic hobby, and its contents were in truly bad taste. But it could definitely be viewed as a puzzle which, if solved, might lead to the hidden gold. Are we gonna hear it?
そういうつもりなのかどうか、おじいさまの胸中は想像もつかないけどね。一つ言えるのは、 このうさんくさい碑文をおじいさまは一族全員に告示するかのようにここに掲示したこと。そして黄金の存在はほのめかしながらも未だにその隠し場所について一切触れないこと。そこから親たちが想像を膨らませておじいさまの知恵比べに違いないって言い出した。
欲の皮が突っ張ってるうちの親父あたりだろうぜ。こんな弱いことを真に受けてるなんてよ。
Yeah.
じいさまの黒魔術趣味はバカにしてるくせにこの隠し黄金の話だけは信じてやがる。
I bet he'd really like that, though, wouldn't he?
調子のいい話さ。
確かに現実的な話じゃないよね。当時無名で何のコネクションもなかったおじいさまに無償で莫大な金塊を融資する人物なんているわけがない。それがいたからこそおじいさまはそのスポンサーを魔女と呼んだというなら考えられない話じゃないけど。
でもよ、10トンだぜ、10トン。一体現金に直したらいくらくらいになるんだ？っていうか、とんでもない量になるはずだぜ。
Yeah, 10 tons is a ridiculous amount of gold.
とんでもない量だよ。人類が有史以来発掘した黄金はせいぜい10万トンって言われてる。人類の歴史が手にした黄金の1万分の1を個人が手にしてるっていうのはとてつもないことだよ。
It's interesting that they brought it up.
それが一箇所にあり、しかもそれをおじいさまにポンと貸し出せるような魔女。
Yeah.
ただものじゃないね。
I mean, based on what we've... Assuming the grandfather has been explaining what magic is to us appropriately, then that means that whatever's gonna be coming down on this family is gonna be a freaking reckoning, if it's that much gold.
私はよ、その10トンって数字ももはや嘘くさいと思ってるぜ。第一よ、じいさま以外に見たやつはいないんだろ。仮に気前のいい魔女が実在して黄金を貸したとしても、それは10は10でも10キロぐらいの間違いじゃねえのか？
Yeah, I mean, how would he move it?
10キロでも相当いい金額になるはずだぜ。
I mean, magic's the obvious answer, but still, we don't have the details.
10キロの黄金っていくら？
Maria, who wasn't following the story and felt like she was being spoken to in riddles, finally found a place where she could ask us a question. It was a question I also wanted to answer right then. Whether it was 10 kilograms or 10 tons, it still felt like a huge amount, but I had no idea exactly how huge. George Aniki folded his arms and tried to remember the market price of gold.
さあ、金も相場の影響を受けるから何とも言えないし、純度や鋳造先の信用によっても変わってくる。換金に手数料もかかるし。ただ、希少金属であることは間違いなくて、このまま採掘が進めば、人類はあと半世紀ほどで全てを掘り尽くしてしまうんじゃないかって憶測もある。デタラメに言って、1キロあたり200万円程度の価値はあるんじゃないかと思うね。
And of course, this is not today's 2 million yet, so it's worth a lot more.
私よ、10キロってのは今適当に言って控えめな数字なんだけどよ、それでも2000万円の価値があるってことになるじゃねえかよ。
Yeah.
マリア、体重28キロ。
Right.
ということは、マリアちゃんと同じ重さの黄金なら、その価値は5000万円を超えるって計算になるね。
そりゃたまげるな。10トンならいくらだ？10キロで2000万が1000倍だから、はぁ
Am I gonna have to do the math?
200億円か。
Yeah, yeah, 20 billion.
こりゃたまらねえや。
How much does 20 billion yen actually work? We could only measure it relative to our own pocketbooks. Anyway, let's say that a person wages over a lifetime are about 200 million yen. You grow up and work like crazy. sacrificing your life for your company, and you're finally freed as you approach old age. Everything, including retirement money, might add up to about 200 million yen. Really? In other words, that's the amount of money that will be made roughly throughout a human's life. No, you could even call it the value of a life. So 100 times that sum is an unbelievable amount of money. If you work from age 20 to 60, that's 40 years of work, so it's equal to 4,000 years of work wages. If you worked every day starting from the Jomon period, you'd only reach that number about now.
200億円ってすごい？
ああ、すげえよ。マリアの大好きなショートケーキだったら、多分一生かかっても食い切れないくらい買えるぜ。
でも、200億円という現金ならいざ知れず、それと同等の金塊が一ところにあるなんて、とても現実的とは思えないね。
Yeah.
さっきも言った通り、黄金は非常に重くて、財産をまとめておくにはちょっと便利とは思えないよ。ものすごい額面の有価証券とか、ものすごく価値のある宝石とか、そういうものなら考えられなくもないけれど、戦時中の混乱期に自分の資産を持ち運べるよう、すべて宝石などに変えた人たちがいたのは有名な話だからね。でも、黄金で資産を備蓄したというのはなかなか聞かない。
That's an interesting point.
確かに重いけどよ、国際的に一番信用されてて価値も安定してるし、
Right.
意味はあるんじゃないのかな。
I mean, typically we need some sort of like international storage
証券
thing
とかだった
or
ら
a vault.
国が滅びちまったら紙切れになっちまうわけだし。
そういう考え方もあるね。でも、10kg のインゴット一つでも、体感重量は相当のものだよ。聞いたことない？ 50kg の人間は背負えても、50kg の俵は担げないって。それだけの莫大な重量の金塊を、個人が所有するリスクと手間は計り知れないね。
So I mean,
ってことは
magic's
つ
the
ま
only
り、
answer here.
200億円の札束がうなってるって話ならともかく、200億円分の黄金が山積みになってるってのは、ちょいと現実味がないわけだな。
そういうことになるね。黄金伝説なんて響きはとても面白いんだけど、そもそも10トンの黄金という時点で少々無理があるね。
そうやってリズムで考えるとみるみる嘘くさくなっていくぜ。夢のない話さ。
でもそこは何しろあのおじいさまだからね。親切なお金持ちからの融資を大げさに吹聴して魔女から授かった10トンの黄金なんて例え方をしたのかもしれないよ。10トンという数字も象徴的な感じがするしね。
つまり、借りた金のありがたさは10トンの黄金に匹敵する価値があった、ってなことだ。
じいさまに大金持ちの勇敢マダムが気前よく恵んでくれて、そのご婦人を魔女と呼んだってことじゃねえのか？
Dang. I see. Jessica's example isn't bad. Someone who generously lent a huge sum of money to grandfather when he still had no reputation might as well be called a witch. Furthermore, grandfather actually did use that money to build a vast amount of wealth later on. The fact that this person was so great at judging people might also justify calling her a witch. Also, since she went to the trouble of lending all that money, she might have enthusiastically overseen how it was spent. The decision to unexpectedly get involved with the occupying forces and profit from the Korean War demands might have been inspired by the witch herself. That might explain why he claimed to have received both wealth and honor from her.
なるほどな。ってことはつまり、この魔女様は後宮家復興のための資金を恵んでくださった復興の大恩人ってわけだ。となりゃ、じい様が感謝の気持ちを込めてこんだけでかい絵を描かせて掲げさせたってのも、なるほど、おかしい話じゃないのかもな。
ひょっとするとよ、当の本人は見るからに魔女っぽいばあさんだったかもしれないぜ。それをじい様が美化して こんな美人に描いてくれたってのは考えられる話さ。案外当の本人に会ってみたらこんなに美人じゃないかもしれねえな。
ありえるね。ベアトリーチェって名前はいかにも洋風だけど、僕たち一族の名前がみんな洋風であることを考えると、このベアトリーチェって名前も日本人名を無理やり洋風にアレンジしたものなのかもしれないよ。
なるほどなるほど。この美人は絵の中にしかいないってわけだな。それじゃあ、あの立派そうな胸は揉めそうにないぜ。鼻っから魔女なんておかしいんだよな。そんなのが地球上のどこにいるってんだ。
I laughed and made fun of the witch, trying to distinguish myself from the kid I was 6 years ago, who'd feared the witch in the forest, when Maria tugged on my sleeve. I could tell by how hard she pulled that she was a bit upset.
Huh?
What if she's met her, dude?
なんだよ、マリア。
おーい。ベアトリーチェはいる。
Maria stared up at me. She had on her usual sour look, but I could tell she was angry by the color of her eyes.
魔女いる。魔女はいる。
なんだよ、そりゃいるだろうよ。テレビをつけりゃアニメとかによ。
And I am one. I started getting impatient, not knowing why Maria was jumping on me like this. Then, Jessica tapped me on the shoulder and whispered,
バカだな。子供の夢打ち砕いてんじゃねえぜ。
Come on, you're not on it too.
マリアは魔女とかベアトリーチェとかが確かに存在するって信じてんだよ。
確かマリアちゃんは学校の文集に将来なりたいものは魔女って書いたんだっけ？
Maria nodded seriously. Tears started to run from the corners of her eyes. I see. To a girl who wants to become a witch in the future, the existence of Beatrice was proof that witches do exist in this world, and was therefore an image that she yearned after and admired.
魔女はいる。なのにバトラーが信じない。
うん、いるよ。魔女は、お兄ちゃんは信じるよ。
I bet you do. George Aniki kneeled down and hugged Maria's head. Watching this, Jessica poked my side. So that's what it is. It's like shouting that Santa Claus doesn't exist in front of a child who believes in him on Christmas Eve. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to shatter kids' dreams.
悪かったぜ。別にマリアの夢にケチをつけたわけじゃねえんだ。謝るよ。ベアトリーチェはいるよな。今もこの島の森の中に住んでいて、夜な夜なこの屋敷で何をやってるのか覗き見しに来るんだろ。だから森には入っちゃいけない。夜はいつまでも暗い森を眺めていてはいけない。森の魔女ベアトリーチェに見つかってしまうかもしれないから。バサマがそう言ってたんだもんね。
If she is actually in the forest, though, then why wouldn't Grandpa just go out there? That's the thing that's been bouncing around in my head.
本当にバトラーは信じる？
おお、信じるぜ。ケチをつけて悪かったよ。ほら、仲直りしようぜ。
I stuck out my hand. Maria grabbed it with her tiny hand and we made up. Maria didn't grumble any more than that, so George Aniki and Jessica were relieved. あら。
皆様、ここにいらっしゃられたんですか。てっきり海岸へ行かれたとばかり。
Shannon-chan, carrying a basket, was surprised to find us all gathered in front of the portrait.
シャノンか。いやさ、バトラはベアトリーチェの肖像画を初めて見るからさ。まあ、見とれてたってわけだぜ。そうですね。見とれちゃいますね。ベアトリーチェ様って、本当にお綺麗です。さぞや、親方様を虜になさったろうと思います。
I'd say all the other girls in this game are on our level, though.
パトロン説の他にも おじい様の初恋の人だという説もあるんだ。
Yeah.
どちらにせよ、彼女に出会ってから数十年を経ているだろうにもかかわらず、今なお心の中に大きく居座り続けているんだから、それは今なお虜にしているということなんだろうね。
やれやれ。これじゃ、ばあ様はさぞや嫉妬しただろうぜ。
私はよく知らねえけど、やっぱりそういうのはあったらしいぜ。ばあ様は金髪の浮気相手がいると信じてたらしいな。いい匂い。シャノンからいい匂い。
Maria, sniffing, approached the basket Shannon-chan was holding with interest. After hitting that, I noticed a fragrant scent with a touch of vanilla.
申し訳ございません。熊沢さんからこれを皆さんにお届けするようにことづかりました。
They get dessert but no tea. I see how it is.
なんだろう。素敵だね。クッキーだ。
クッキー食べたい。クッキー食べたい。でも、
Would it be appropriate to serve cookies in a place like this, in front of the portrait? Shannon-chan sent us a glance that seemed to ask what we wanted to do about it. Well, yeah, guess eating here would be bad manners, generally speaking.
マリア、ここじゃなくてよそで食べようぜ。クッキーをお弁当にピクニックに行こう。ピクニック行こう。ピクニック行こう。クッキー食べれるなら行こう。
そうだな。ちょっと表の空気を吸いに行くか。魔女様の御前でつまみ食いもねえもんだぜ。
そうだ。もともと私たちは浜辺に行こうって言ってたんじゃねえか。行こうぜ行こうぜ。
シャノンちゃん、申し訳ないんだけど、腰を下ろせる敷物と水筒にお茶を入れてきてもらうのをお願いしてもいいかな。
はい。かしこまりました。
Shannon-chan received her instructions and gracefully bowed before retracing her steps. We headed for the beach on our own. Everyone headed for the entrance in a group. Feeling as though that witch was staring down at our backs, I turned around once more.
アトラ、まだ信じてない？
I'm expecting the painting to change or something, so I'm looking for it.
いや、
But it
信じる
looks the
ぜ。
same.
その方が夢があるしな。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェがじい様に10トンの黄金を授けた。それで、その黄金がどこかに眠っているかもしれない。しかもそいつを、じい様は怪しげな碑文に書き残し、見つけられるもんなら見つけてみろと俺たちを挑発してるってんじゃねえか。こういうロマンはあった方がいいってもんさ。
200億円の黄金か。私たち4人で山分けしたってとんでもない金額になるな。
一人頭50億円か。すごいね。それだけあったらどんな事業でも起こせそうだよ。いや、そもそも働かずに生涯を優雅に過ごせるだろうね。
50億円よりクッキー
Right, yeah.
マリアには金よりクッキーだな。しかし、50億円か。夢のある話さ。バカバカしい。
Alright, so I feel like we're gonna get back to the adults and things are gonna get serious again. This gold stuff and Beatrice stuff doesn't bode well. I'm not sure if this game's gonna be more metaphorical or literal. At the moment, it seems to teeter between both, and it's difficult to be able to predict things. So, with that, I'm Shonen MC, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.